Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today is the spring faves and fails because now we're into summer, which is always good. So I didn't have too many things that I tried during the spring time as I was quite busy, but I'm going to start with the E.l.f Hydrating Camo Concealer in the satin finish. Mine's in the shade Light Sand. Can't read that. Yeah, Light Sand. I will have, if I can find it, this linked down below. I got this from Kmart, I believe, and it is definitely a fave. I have been using it constantly. I usually try a couple of concealers at the same time, so I've got something else going at the same time as this, and I'm definitely reaching for this one more. This, however, it's very hydrating, which is great, but it almost has that, what's the word I'm looking for? Watery consistency. It's not creamy, I guess you would say. Like when I compare it to my all-time fave Tarte Shape Tape, this is definitely like a water, and whereas the Tarte Shape Tape is more of a cream. However, this still does a great job. It's not full coverage, definitely not full coverage, so it would be a medium coverage. But the one thing I'm loving about it is when you have textured under eyes like me, and usually you put on hydrating eye creams, everything under the sun to try and get your concealer to, you know, stay looking good at the end of the day. This just does that and more. I can put my hydrating eye cream and know that I put this on top, it's still going to look just as good at the end of the day as it was at the beginning of the day when I put it on. I don't use this on my face. The coverage is not there. It's not a full coverage, as I said, it's medium, and the consistency is too thin again to cover any blemish or anything on my face. So I would definitely use something else on my face, but use this under my eyes. Now, I'm not saying this is only for over 40-year-olds. This would work for anybody. It's not going to matter. If you like a nice hydrated medium coverage, you know, kind of a look, then this is your go-to. And it's cheap. I mean, I can't remember offhand exactly how much. I know it was under $10 that I paid for this at Kmart. I mean, that's brilliant when you compare it to something like Tarte Shape Tape, which is nearly 50. I mean, yes, the coverages are different, but it depends on your taste. But yeah, this has definitely turned into a fave for me, and I would highly recommend it. Next up is the Benefit Fouroscope, and mine was in the Fire Queen. It's this one here. Okay, so let me tell you about this. This ended up being a limited edition. I actually didn't realise that when I bought this at the time. So some places are just saying it's out of stock, and I'm guessing they might be bringing it back in, and other places are just flat out not saying it's for sale anymore. So if I happen to find somewhere that is still stocking it, I will link it down below. Okay, so this, yeah, no, I'm not impressed. But in hindsight, I have myself to blame because I didn't think about it. I didn't think it through. In hindsight, I should have bought one of the other two. Maybe the more cool toned one for my skin type. Fire Queen, I mean, then it's all in the title, Fire Queen. So it's about your golds, your reds, you know, it's that the look that it's going for. And that look just doesn't suit me. So the whole Hoola bronzer I can't use. It goes orange on me. I don't know what it is about it. No matter how I use it, it just doesn't work for me. So I've actually been using it as a transition shade occasionally. the blush that's up here, sorry, this one, the darker one, is too dark, and it is full of, again, the shimmer, the bronzy colours, the goldy colours, slight reddy kind of a tinge to it, and it's just too dark. So to that one I tried as an eyeshadow and it did not work the best either. So I've been using it very, very lightly on the apples of my cheeks if I'm looking a bit, you know, pale or a bit like I need some colour. The highlighter is really, really good, but again, if it depends on the look you're going for. It's not a highlighter I could use every day. Okay, it's if I have a pink eye look going on, because this highlighter has pink reflex in it, which doesn't normally suit my skin tone, but I can get it to work if I coincide the rest of my makeup with the highlighter. So again, it's not something I'm reaching every day. If I want to use it, I'm planning ahead. But I am forcing myself to use this because I paid so much money for it. I'm forcing myself to find a way to use it. So I have been using that on my eyes as well, and it's been working fine. So the two of them, the highlighter and the bronzer, are not so good together, but I've been using them separate as eyeshadows and they've been fine. The one thing I have been loving about this palette is the last thing, which is there's a blush in here, so the lighter one. And again, you don't need a lot of it. A little goes a long way, and it still does have the shimmer through it. It has that goldy, bronzy, shimmery look because it is Fire Queen palette. But I've been finding if I don't go heavy-handed, if I'm just you know, putting a light layer on, it actually really looks quite flattering on me. So that's probably the only one I have been using consistently. As I said, the rest of them I've just been having trouble with. But as I said, it's partly myself to blame. So I can't really say if this is a fave or fail, because I should have tried a different one of the other two palettes, I think. So this is just I'm telling you my thoughts on this particular one. If you have more warm toned skin, I think this would be great. I think you would love it. But as again, this is limited edition, so I have no idea if it's even going to be still available. But if it is, I will definitely link it. So this is just a, I don't know what you'd call it. I'm not calling it a fave or a fail because technically it's my own fault. But anyway, so that is the Benefit Fouroscope in Fire Queen. The last thing to mention is the eyeshadow palette. So this was the Too Faced Natural Eyes. I know it has a bigger title than that. I just can't remember. What do they call it? Neutral eyeshadow palette. Yeah. Anyway, let's see if I can... It's this one here. So I am classing this as a maybe. I thought it was a fave for quite a while, and then I just started to notice certain things that bugged me about it, which I will get to. So, how can I explain it? Let's start at the beginning. Let's start at the top, I should say, not the beginning. So this shade up here, hang on, so the wording will be upside down, but I'll point to it. So this shade, which side are we? This one here. This white one here, basically is too white for me. I tried using it up on the top of my brow bone, and it just looks a bit silly, so I stopped using it there. And then I was like, oh, okay, there must be another way I can use it. So I've been using it in my inner corner, which I have done today. This look is using this palette. So that's how I found I can use it. That's the only way I've been able to use it. The look I've done today has used, I can't read these names, Strip Poker, which is this one up here. This is my transition shade, and then I used this one here, which is Cashmere Bunny on the outer third, and then I used the Silk Teddy, which is this one here, across the lid to give it a bit of a shimmer. So both Strip Poker and Cashmere Bunny are matte, and Silk Teddy is a satin, so with some shimmer in it. And that is the look, or this look is one that I use quite a bit on my work days, and then sometimes I'll experiment. So the shade, what's it called? These names. This one here, this is called Erotica. Now this one is so it's more of a chocolatey brown, but it has this glitter through it. I'll put it on my hand. And I've been finding that I've gone to blend it out. I'll just blend it out now. Even though this is with my fingers, probably not the best example. It just blends very patchy. And I just can't seem to get it to blend nicely. So I've used it as a on the outer third quite a number of times, and yeah, I thought, okay, maybe it's just what I'm using underneath. So I tried a different eyeshadow primer. By the way, I did try, there were a few comments when I did my research for this particular palette that said the colours weren't as vibrant or weren't as outstanding when used with just a concealer and setting powder. And I can't say I saw any difference between the two. It was exactly the same looks using an eyeshadow primer and concealer and setting powder, and I didn't notice one was duller than the other. They just looked the same to me. But anyway, this particular shade, I tried it both ways. I thought, okay, maybe it's something that I'm using that's causing it, and then I kept thinking, no, and I kept trying it, and I haven't been able to work it out. So that's just a shade that I'm not impressed with. I can't seem to, what was it called? Erotica, yeah. So that's this one here. And then the one down below that, what's that one called? Chocolate Martini. This one here. This one's just too dark for me, unfortunately, and then I thought, oh, okay, maybe I could use it as a liner. Put it close across the lash line, across the top, maybe it'll work that way. However, that didn't work either. There's too much glitter in it. It's not chunky, it's not, it's just like a light shimmer through it, but it didn't work. So I haven't been able to use that one as much. And then the last one is Sexpresso, is that how you say it? Sexpresso? So this bottom one down here. This shade was good. I've been using it, like I tried the Chocolate Martini, as a liner really close to the lash line across the top. Works really nice, looks really good, goes on well. However, when I tried to use it in the upper waterline, it bled underneath into the lower one, so I gave up doing that. Tight line, that's the word I was looking for. When I tried a tight line across the top, it didn't work. So yeah, it's been a bit of a hit and miss. The last two, so there's one called Push Up and one called Honey Pot. So the which one's which? Push Up, this one here. It's quite a dark, nice bronzy sort of a colour. I did wear that quite a few times on its own. It looks really, really nice. And then the Honey Pot, which is the goldy colour up here. I used that a number of times with that when I was testing out the erotica shade that I could not get to work, and it was quite nice as well. And again, I used it on its own as a one and done, and it worked fabulously. But I just, yeah, I don't know, I wanted to like it. I thought it was going to be a nice versatile kind of palette for me, but it's turned into a bit of a one look. As I said, the one look that I'm pretty much wearing today, that I've been using it for, unless I've got more time, and then like I said, I'll line with the Six Espresso, what a horrible name. And then, or if I'm in a hurry, do the one and done shades. But and I've also had nothing but trouble with this lid that's been driving me up the wall too. Doesn't stay up, it'll just keep falling down. The scent has definitely stopped, which is good. It's much less than when I first started using it. So yeah. So the Too Faced Natural Eyes, I would say it's not something I would go out and replace. So I think this would be a fail for me. As much as I wanted to love it and have it as an everyday palette, I'm just, yeah, there's too many things I'm not liking about it. But the colour scheme was what really drew me to it. But sadly, yeah, it's not for me. That is it for the faves and fails, but I just wanted to do a wee shout out to a friend of mine. She has managed to get her book published. It's a book of poetry, and her author name is Julie Marie, and it's called Out of the Darkness I Merge, Into the Light I Walk. This is it here. And it's fantastic. It's a really heartfelt journey. You can really tell what she's been going through. It must sometimes, I mean, life gets pretty tough, and she's put it in a way that when you read it, you know straight away what she's talking about. I'll read you the wee blurb on the back. So it says, as we navigate our way through life, we experience many trials and tribulations that can distort how we feel about ourselves. As Julie Marie has been in the darkness, she wants to share with you a snapshot of her life. These poems reflect some of the emotions she felt and that you may feel. Julie Marie's story is one in many. As you come up against challenging times in your life, the following words of support are here for you to show you that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how small or dim it is. It is to help you find your source of an outlet to assist you through. The emotional pictures painted can reflect similar emotions within you, allowing you to connect with your own feelings, to see a helping hand, and that you're not alone in your journey through life, which is so true. Yeah, and I've got a couple of favourites in here, I must admit, and I was just blown away how transparent she is about her life, about her journey. It really makes you think, oh, okay, you know, I mean, you know, other people go through these things, but to read it and know how they felt about it, how they dealt with it, it's very interesting. So I'm not going to read you too many. I'll read you one of my favourite ones. I'm by no means a poetry reader. I'll do my best. So this one's called Alone, Not Lonely. Sitting here alone, but not feeling lonely. Finding tranquility within a crowd. Once there was turmoil against the noise, now solace within the frantic energy around, drawing on the calm from within. Looking at people's faces, seeing their thoughts, feeling their feelings. Sitting here amongst strangers, completely at peace, feeling nothing but love. Grateful that I have found it, what I have been searching for. Inner peace has finally been found. If you are interested in this book, I'm going to link it down below in the description box. But yeah, I would highly recommend it for any book read. I mean, you don't really have to be into poetry. It's just a great little book to read about, you know, a person's journey through their life and their thoughts, feelings, emotions, you know, what they're going through. It's just a really great little read. I would recommend it definitely. And Christmas is coming up, you know, it's a good excuse to buy it. Okay, right, that is it for today. That's my faves and fails done for spring. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Bye.